Good day, everyone. I am Ronald, moderator for this webinar. I welcome everyone for today's webinar that is on 2023 financial reporting tips and tricks in Excel. I would now like to introduce our presenter for today, David H. Ringstrom. David H. Ringstrom, CPA, is an author and nationally recognized instructor who teaches scores of webinars each year. I would now like to hand over the floor to the speaker. Over to you, David.
Thank you, Ronald. Hello, everyone. I'm David Ringstrom, a CPA in Atlanta, and welcome to 2023 Financial Reporting Tips and Tricks. Over the course of our time together, my goal is to share with you ways that you can use Excel more effectively. So my goal today is to expand your toolbox so that you can have more options for getting things done in Excel. I am going to be teaching from the Microsoft 365 version of Excel today. That is the newest version of Excel. Most everything I talk about today will work in any version of Excel, but I may have included some things that do require the newest versions of Excel. And if so, those slides will be labeled so that you're not looking for something that isn't possible in an older version of Excel. So let's lead off with our material. And one of the best ways to improve the integrity of a spreadsheet is to not build the spreadsheet at all. And we can accomplish that by way of using built-in templates in Excel. If we want to try out the built-in templates in Excel, our first step is to go to the File menu in Excel. Step 2, we will choose New, and that's going to bring up the new page of what Microsoft calls the backstage in Excel. And you'll see a space where you can type in a search term. If we put in the word budget, let's say, and pressed Enter, we'll then see dozens of different budget templates appear on the screen. You can pick any of those and use that as the starting point for building your own spreadsheet. Let's say, though, that you want to create your own templates. To do so, we'll want to select all the cells that have numbers. Step 2 there, we're going to choose Find and Select on the Home menu. And Step 3, we're going to choose Constants. Step 5 there, we'll click on cell A1. Step 6, we'll go to File, we'll go to Save As, and then we give it a name. And Step 9, we're going to change the file type from an Excel workbook to an Excel template. When you do so, it's going to store that template in the Custom Office Templates folder within your Documents folder. You then click Save, and in a moment we'll see how we can then use our templates. We just left-click once on the file, and then within the Open dialog box, Step 7 there, we're going to click the drop-down arrow on the Open button. That reveals a menu from which Step 8 we can say Open as Copy. You can also create templates that are based upon worksheets. And so this is going to allow you to insert worksheets into your existing workbooks. We're going to look at one more template type, and that is what's called a chart template. Chart templates allow you to create basically settings that you can apply to any existing chart. And it is a way to standardize your chart formats so that your charts then have the same look and feel. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to use the VLOOKUP function to create the foundation for creating a waterfall chart. So what we need to do is we need to isolate out the points that we want to include on our waterfall chart, and then we'll use VLOOKUP to be able to create a lookup function that can look up the data for any month of the year. I'm going to select any cell within my income statement summary. Step 2, I'll go to the Insert tab. Step 3, I'll choose Recommended Charts. Now you can find you can find the waterfall chart on the recommended charts list, and I now want to talk about the cell styles feature because it is basically templates for worksheet cells. It allows you to store formatting that you wish to apply. Then in my new workbook, I can choose cell styles and pick a style and apply it, and do some data transformation by way of a feature called Power Query. Step 14, we'll give it a name, just account. Step 15, we'll click OK. To unpivot, we're going to select the account column. On the Transform tab, we're going to click the Unpivot Columns drop-down button. We'll then say Unpivot Other Columns. So you have to click Enable Content. But that sets up a repetitive task, and we all have way too many repetitive tasks in our life already. We don't need new ones. So rather than clicking Enable Content, if we go to Step 1, we choose the File menu. Step 2, we go to Info. Step 3, we click Enable Content, and Step 4, we click Enable All Content. Incorporate the Filter feature here. the slicer feature. So what slicers allow us to do is to filter a list by making choices from the slicer, which is basically a little floating gadget. So we're going to go to conditional formatting. We'll choose data bars. We'll choose more rules. We'll click show bar only and click OK. That's going to create a series of charts. So we're going to use Power Query again, but this time we're going to pull in a general ledger. There aren't any blank columns on this report because we cleaned them up in Power Query. If there were, we could remove them by clicking on the filter button, clearing the checkbox to remove the blanks there, and click OK. We can use slicers with the pivot table, with the table. We can use slicers with a pivot table as well. When you have created a slicer, you can click the clear button at the top. That will reset the slicer to show you all the items. Timelines allow us to create basically a slicer that filters data based upon time frames. So if we go to the Analyze tab, we click on Insert Timeline, pick a date field, because we can only choose from fields that have dates. We click OK. So I want to show you a troubleshooting technique that you can use when a pivot table is not functioning the way that you expect it to. To create a pivot table, I could select any cell within the list. Step 2, I could go to the Insert menu. Step 3, I could choose the Pivot Table command. Step 4, I'd click OK when the Create Pivot Table dialog box appears. Step 5, we'll click Account. Step 6, we'll click Amount, and we'll then see that Account 4000 appears twice due to a nuance in our data there. We go to the Data menu, we click Text to Columns, we click Finish. That will transform all the numbers in column A from being in any of them that are text-based. We will convert them to numeric values. Last thing I want to leave you with today is the Quick Analysis feature. Quick Analysis is designed to be an entry point to delve into some of the features that we worked with today, such as conditional formatting and creating charts. Data bars, as we saw, provide a sense of scale. Quick Analysis can add totals to a list, or you can use the clear command to clear the formatting. All right, well, that's my time for the day. I do want to thank you for attending. Hope that you found the presentation helpful. Thank you, Renal. I appreciate everyone attending. Hope that you found the presentation helpful, and look forward to seeing you back soon for another Excel presentation.
Thank you, David. That does conclude the session for today. Thank you, everyone, for participating. You all may disconnect now. Have a great day ahead.